Alright guys, how we doing? So today I figured we'd just do something a bit more chill, something more relaxed, just have a bit of fun. Go through some of Red Panel's comics because, well, I mean, he is one interesting fellow. I've seen his comics for a while, and they always make me cringe on some kind of like new level I never really thought I could cringe on before. So that's why I kind of figured it was yeah, worth going through. But I've also seen his like debate with Sargon of Akkad, and holy shit, like Sargon knows fuck all, but oh my god, did he destroy this guy in the debate? Because Red Panels is an anarcho-capitalist if he wasn't autistic enough, really. Like we can add that layer on as well. He you know, if you can't beat Sargon in a debate, it's like, why are you alive, really? But okay, but anyway, so I figured we'd just kind of jump straight into this, and I haven't really like seen these. I mean, obviously I have seen them because I need to like get them for the video, but before that I haven't seen them is my point. So we're just gonna do it. We're just gonna do it on the fly, and we'll see how it goes. So now this is one of the most ironic arguments that I can see right-wingers make. Because the best part of it is they literally, when they make this argument, show that they literally do not understand basic economics. And it's just, oh, well, if we pay people more, then we're just going to automate all the jobs. Aha, fuck you, poor people. It's like, well, fuck you, capitalists, because, I mean, robots don't fucking go home and then buy a new flat-screen TV to enjoy for their robot family and their robot kids. No, when you automate, the more things you automate, the lower demand goes down, because workers are the ones who buy back the things that they make. So when you get rid of workers with machines, well, the system kind of falls in on itself, and it's really damaging to the economy because it's literally just unemployment. But it's worse than unemployment, actually, because before, unemployment would just mean no demand, but at the same time you now have less people making more products. But now it's lower demand and you're actually making even more products because you're automating everything. So it's like as worse as it could be. So like, automation is horrific for the economy. So we live in a society where we have the ability not to work a shit ton. We have the ability to automate so many jobs, but it's not compatible with our system. And again, when it's just like, oh my god, it's just, you just do not understand how capitalism works when you make this argument. Yeah, sure. I mean, on the local short-term scale, people who push for higher minimum wages may get replaced with machines, but that's just not a viable response to this problem. That's just, you can't just leave it at that, because that opens up so many more problems. But I mean, it is that classic argument that's really been kind of repeated throughout history of, if you demand higher standards of living, then you're going to lose your job. And pretty much every time there has been a victory for the working class in the class struggle, that hasn't been the case, because believe it or not, capitalists do need the workers. Like, if they're going to be forced to pay them more, they'll rather do that than not have any workers. And again, at the moment, yeah, now we're at the point where they can be automated, but again, like I've already explained, that just so many more problems arise out of that. You do not want to go down that route. Like, just okay. Well, if anyone's going to open Pandora's box, it should be a black president. Let's see. Oh my god. And then it says identity politics in the box. Like, now, I'm not too sure. Wait, I do want to just say, is it just me, or does Donald Trump like look really cute in that box? Or is that just me? Whatever. I'm not too sure what this comic is trying to say. Because like, is it saying like Donald Trump is the identity politics? Because I almost want to say, you're fucking retarded. It's not Barack Obama or you know, social justice warriors happened, and because of that, Donald Trump is going to fight against the identity politics, because he is identity politics. Because that makes it, you don't fight identity politics with more identity politics. That's stupid. But because he's in the box labeled identity politics, I feel like that's them saying he is identity politics. I'm kind of confused, so I don't know what kind of angle to go from it. But on both ways, if you're saying identity politics is what Trump is fighting, Trump is identity politics, so just kill yourself. And if you're admitting that Trump is identity politics, well, kill yourself as well, because you're admitting you support identity politics. Just stop. Oh god, this one is actually painful. Like, what the fuck? I do want to say before I get into this one, the URL of this comic, when I opened it up as a separate image, is Antifa-Illuminati-comic. Not Antifa-Wall Street-comic. No. Like, what the... Just give you some insight into the type of guy that this is. But anyway, so essentially what this is meant to be saying is, oh, Donald Trump has got in, and now the left is super sad, and also Wall Street is super sad, and oh, look at this ironic bonding between them. Are you retarded? What? So you realise that Donald Trump is literally... He's draining the swamp by removing... He's just getting in the people who would actually be lobbying for the politicians and just putting them in the place of the politicians. He's cutting out the middleman. There's no... I don't masquerade anymore. I don't see how you can think how you can think Wall Street are upset with this. Like, okay, granted, there are people in the establishment who don't like Donald Trump, but that doesn't mean Donald Trump is against, you know, big corporate interest, because he's not, because his advisors are literally CEOs. I mean, that's all I can really say about that. I mean, it's just this fantasy that Donald Trump really is against corruption. It's like, oh, the billionaire who's not in the interest of the billionaires. This makes sense. That makes all of the sense. No. Can you believe the blatant racism of Trump's Muslim ban? Well, if he was banning Muslims, why did he not include 40 other Muslim bans? Okay, now I get what this is trying to say here. This is trying to say it was only specific countries, blah blah blah. There are two angles to really look at this. Firstly, these countries were actually the 8 countries, I think it was listed under the Obama administration. So by banning these ones, it kind of gives Trump an excuse to say, no, look, I'm just like carrying this forward. I didn't even target these countries in the first place as places of you know, interest. So you can see that, but at the same time, there's also the other thing that apparently a lot of the countries that weren't banned were because Trump actually had business to do with them. So again, it's like, oh, Trump is against all the economic interests, and no, just whatever. Wait, so the people wanting to depose Trump are the same ones against the Second Amendment? Now the Second Amendment is the guns one, right? I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, it is. So actually, funny thing, no, they're not. Antifa, well, I don't know too much about Antifa actually, but I'm pretty sure Antifa are pro-gun. I'd imagine they'd be pro-gun. They're not liberals. Well, okay, a lot of them are liberals, but like, okay, real leftists. I'm assuming this is referring to Antifa, and Antifa should be real leftists, and real leftists are pro-gun. So like, this is just a blatant misunderstanding of what your opposition is actually advocating for, so good job you. Okay, and lastly, to wrap this up, I know we've just been flying through these, but there isn't a huge amount to say about them, and like, I think a lot of it, the comics just speak for themselves, so like, I don't really have too much to add, honestly. But this is the last one, and oh my god, this is the worst comic I've ever seen. Like, honestly, we weren't even interested in concentration camps, but people would not stop punching us. Just, I don't even know where to begin with this one. Like, what? So it's literally saying we're only being. It's your fault. It's literally saying it's the fault of people who are against Nazis that Nazis are the way they are. You realise if Nazis weren't that way in the first place, then people wouldn't be so violently against them, right? Because it's actually part of their ideology to do stuff like this inherently. So whether they're actually doing it or not, it's something that they want to do. So what the fuck is wrong with you? This is taking like victim shaming to the next level almost. And I almost don't like using that word because it makes me sound like liberal social justice warrior, but it is. It literally is. It's the people's in the concentration camps' fault. Why they're in that concentration camp, because they resisted too much. How dare you resist fascism? That's why you're in the concentration camp, because you resisted fascism. If you just sat back and let it did its thing and just let it take power peacefully, we wouldn't be in this mess, and we could have euthanized all the black people and the Jews peacefully. But no, you had to have something to say about that. You self-righteous prick. Like, come on. How can you be this deluded? How? Anyway, this was a pretty quick video actually. But still, I mean, yeah, short and sweet. I had fun, so thanks guys. Let me know what you thought in the comments. Smash that like button because that helps me a lot, and I will see you next time.